We have Ali Orelski and our own Mira Gunnison. Say it with me. Data. We're going to talk about Belk's success story here, using data to power their marketing decisions. So without further ado, Mira and Ali.
Hi, everyone. I am Mira Gunnison, and as Chelsea just mentioned, I'm a director of client experience. I've been at Movable Inc. for, it's coming up on 7 years now, so I love it here. And I know you're not here to learn about me today. You're here to learn about Ali and her story with Belk. And yes, we are here to talk about data. The last thing I'll say about myself is that I'm getting married next week, and I ensured my wedding was after Think Summit. You know, Movable Inc. is #1. Just kidding, I'm not crazy. Yes, exactly. All right, well, let's get into it. All right, here we go. All right, Ali, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
So I have over 10 years of marketing experience, mostly in email marketing. Have worked for some of the large retail brands, such as the North Face, Belk, and prior to that, Universal. I really specialize in one-to-one communication with email, SMS, and mobile app, and I'm really excited about data and data-driven strategies. And data really is king. At the end of the day, nothing works without data.
That is true. Awesome. And so one thing I have to call out is that Belk just finished their first year with Movable Inc. And I think if you're a client in the room, you know how hard your first year is. You're thinking about your data. You're thinking about where you're going to put Movable Inc., how you're going to make it evergreen, how you're going to make a business case to your leaders. And Belk has done all of that. And I'd like to say it's because Ali rides a mare. She's actually a professional horse rider and rides competitively, so she's not afraid to do anything. And Ali, why don't you tell, what are these horses' names, and how long have you been doing this?
I've only been doing it about a year, and then the mare that I ride is Ziggy, and then I also have a gelding named Justin. And here's some pictures of us just chilling and hanging out.
Yeah, so actually we're going to take you through horse riding competitively because we feel like that'll give you really the strengths you need to do email today. Just kidding. Well, so who here has heard of Belk, first of all? Give me a lot of you, that's great.
Hey,
who here shops at Belk? Anyone
step.
shop at Belk? And who gets Belk's emails? We need a few more people in the room, guys. So why don't you tell us a little bit about the brand, Ali?
Yes, so Belk was founded in 1881. We celebrated a really big birthday last year, which we will get into briefly. Hint, hint, one of our campaigns is circled around that. We have nearly 300 locations in 16 states, and we sell both private label and some big nationally recognized brands such as Vineyard Vines, Lilly Pulitzer, and Ralph Lauren.
Very cool. All right, and so it's cool to hear about the brand, but what's really intriguing is the personalization evolution that's happened at Belk over the years, and Ali's very familiar with this. She has been a part of the whole journey. So Ali, why don't you talk to us a little bit about what this has looked like?
Yeah, so when I first joined Belk a little over a year ago, most of our dynamic content and personalization was done solely through AmpScript. Who here has worked with AmpScript? No, it's not necessarily a marketer's dream. It's a little challenging. You need a coder, you need a developer. It's not user-friendly. So that was really phase one. And then we took that from kind of that, you need a developer, everything's very intricate, have one comma out of place and you're kind of done with. Hence how Movable Inc. saved the day and saves our lives every single day, made it a whole lot easier to bring all of these personalization to life and really bring data visualization and really thinking about the customer first and having a customer-centric approach. And we're moving into a lot more dynamic content, as well as dipping our toes into some data modeling and predictive intelligence.
Yeah, and I have to say, as an inker myself, this is really cool. In 1 year alone, we have gotten out of AmpScript. We're using Movable Inc. for data visualization and custom applications, but we're also working with propensity models and data models. Who here has a data model team on their broader team and is looking at ways to work with them and is a little bit figuring out how exactly to use Movable Inc. for that? Because I think we're a really big player in using this data that is so important to the client team and helping to scale it in the email and mobile channel. Awesome. So I have to ask, because I work at Movable Inc., why did you guys pick us?
We really picked you because everything is very easy. You have all the options that we were looking for and are able to scale personalization at a very large scale and be very nimble. And as marketers, we're able to do it. Yes. And we don't need to have that intricate code knowledge and be digging around in code and dealing with the red banner of this is wrong.
Yeah,
very user-friendly.
My favorite anecdote is whenever a client is like, oh man, we have an incorrect link, or there's like a spelling error in this banner, can you guys just change it? And I feel like that's the dream. I know we have really cool use cases, but that honestly, I'm sure is a lot of marketers' dreams.
Yes, even post-deployment, being like, oh man, it just went out, it's wrong, can you fix it before anyone actually sees it?
Yeah. Awesome. Cool, so let's talk about the bread and butter, the use cases. We started very quick to market, and I love these two use cases. Ali, why don't you tell us a little bit about Belk's Beauty Bash promotion and what we did with Movable Ink?
Yeah, so this is one of my favorite campaigns that we did. It highlights our Beauty Bash, which is about a week, 10 days given, where we have a different deal every day for beauty offers. And we integrated the countdown timer that counted down to a new deal where every day it flipped over to a new deal. And I said, let's make it even more interesting. Let's do advent calendar style where you can see the entire layout of everything that day and it unveils the deal of the day. And then on the days past, when you reopen the email, it would say this deal is done to kind of drive that FOMO and make sure that people are coming back to our emails and that they're looking every day for that deal. So we were able to drive really kind of that FOMO, having that countdown timer and having the incentive and the mystery and allure of what is coming next.
I love it. And as an efficiency benefit, you don't have to recode a new template for every single deal of the day.
Yes.
All lived in one template. So huge benefit. All right, now let's have a little bit of fun with engagement. So many of you probably are familiar with the scratch off, and typically it's used to drive an offer or a new product or some sort of promotion. In this case, Belk actually wanted it to drive the store experience and drive information sharing about the brand. But Ali, I'll let you take it away and tell them a little bit about this event that happened last year, not so small, and how you guys really spread the message.
Yes, so some of you may have done the math. We celebrated 135 years last year, and our leadership team came to us and said, we want to do something creative. We want to drive engagement and really highlight the last 135 years here at Belk and all of the great things that have happened. And so we decided to utilize scratch off. So every single one of the facts you could scratch off for the answer. So we were able to drive engagement, keep customers involved, and help all of our newer customers really understand where Belk came from in the last 135 years. I don't know that many 135-year-olds, but maybe you guys do.
The important stat I want to call out here too is the attention or time spent on this landing page. If I think about it, if you think about your customers, no one's spending more than a few seconds reading the email, knowing the message. Customers, more than almost 50% were spending more than a minute on the landing page engaging with it. And that's a really high stat. That means people are reading it, scratching off, and taking in the information.
Yes.
So the one big thing I wanted to call out here too is that it's a great way to drive that knowledge sharing or information sharing, or if you have benefits you'd like to share, this is a great use case for that, and it's out of the box.
Yeah, that's a great stat to call it. I always joke that we only have 3 to 5 seconds. Well, we're able to drive that up to almost a minute. So 3 to 5 seconds, take that.
Love it. Awesome. So I'll just tout this one because this was our first API integration. If you work with Movable Ink, all we talk about are, can we get an API? Because it is our bread and butter. It means it's real time. But why don't you tell us about this one, Ali?
Yeah, so this particular example was during holiday. For everyone in retail, and I'm sure anyone just as a general customer, you know when it gets time for the holidays, you get down to the last minute shopping, everyone has those shipping cutoffs, and you're like, can I get my package? Can I get my present in time? Well, we wanted to drive our customers to still be able to shop after that deadline and shop at their local store. So to make sure that we had that right there in the email at the fingertips of our customers, we had a store locator populate dynamically for your particular store right at the email to make it really easy. Like, here's the deals, here's all the information, here's what we have running this week. You missed shipping cutoff, I'm so sorry, but come shop the great deals directly in store and be able to get it on time for the holidays for all those special people in your life.
I love it. And what I'll say here is this is a data-driven track.
Yeah.
The last 2 use cases were really focused on quick wins and engagement. Here, let's start with zip on file. So that's how we're doing this one, our first data point. And now we're going to get a little deeper and take it to the next level. So one thing I want to call out here is that a big initiative, and I know, Ali, your dream was data visualization. On our first call, you said that we just need to make things more visual, think year in review, think monthly summary. So we really were focused on loyalty within our first few months. And what I'll just call out before Ali explains it as this on the left-hand side was the before, and then we have the after over there. But take it away, Ali. Tell us all about this. And maybe it would be helpful to even talk to the audience a little bit about how this banner was initially set up and some of the concerns about moving it to Movable Ink.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can see the old one on the right, the logo was static, did not change, same logo for everyone, regardless of whether you were a card holder, which is our Belk Rewards Plus program, or a non-card holder. And then the navigation there of home, women, men, shoes, and clearance was always the same, regardless of who you were, what you shopped, or what your historical track record was for shopping. And then the banner on the bottom was the one piece of the dynamic content that was included previously, and this was powered by AmpScript and had, in the nice way, a spaghetti model of data behind it, and just populated your rewards that you had at the current moment. So we didn't tap into how far you were from your next reward or any of those additional possible curated moments for our customer.
I have a funny anecdote about this. We kept telling the team, we really want to see what you're using for this logic because we bet we could make it easier. And finally, we talked to the team. They gave us a Google Doc of like 10 different target, like AmpScript rules being set up. In about like an hour, we turned it into targeting rules in the platform and sent them code, and this was now automated for them, so taken out of AmpScript. But I'll go to the next slide because we want to dive into what was happening on the right-hand side there. This is personalized from head to toe now.
Yes, so the header, not only did we change the logo, so if you're a Belk Rewards customer, you now see the Belk Rewards Plus logo, and then if you're not a Belk Rewards Plus customer, you see the normal Belk logo. But we also added your first name, and we have 3 different tiers for card holders. We have Insider, Premier, and Elite. And they all earn different points depending on, different dollar spend. So we wanted to also add that in there. So Elites earn $7 for every dollar, 7 points for every dollar spent. And Elites also get free shipping. So we have that GIF at the top that really highlights how many points you're earning per dollar, as well as the free shipping call out for Elites. And then diving down to the navigation bar, this one is really exciting. So this we've actually had in 2 phases. The first, we utilized Movable Ink logic based on the pixel on our site, which curated that to be dynamic based on what you most recently browsed. And now we've added the additional data layer of adding our propensity model that our data science team was able to make and create for us. So we're not only using Movable Ink, but we're also using the propensity model to tap into our first-party data and really make that customer experience more holistic and curated to you one-to-one.
Yeah, and I will call out this nav bar, and I wonder if any retailers in the room experience the same. It gets the most traction out of anything in the email, and now it's fully personalized. It seems like non-relevant, but really it's ensuring that we're meeting the customer where they're most engaged.
Yes, especially since we only have that 3 to 4 seconds to catch someone's attention. If you only go to the header, sure, I want the header to have what's most relevant to you.
Beautiful.
And then jumping down, we have this progress bar for our card holders. So we really wanted to hit home how many points you had right now and how many dollars you were away from your next Belk reward dollar. So we want to do this in a really visual way too. So in comes the progress bar. So that progress bar fills up based on how many points you have. At 500 points, you earn a $5 reward. And then to make it super, super crystal clear and easy, on the far side, we have what that amounts to in dollars. And that is all dynamic based on your tier. So the different tiers all earn different points per dollar. That's all coded on the back end. Super, super easy with Movable Ink. They were able to do it super instantly. First, I was like, I have a challenge for you guys. And they're like, what challenge?
We did stick to our SLAs, just reminding everyone.
I was like, well, okay, great, awesome.
Beautiful. Awesome. So I'm doing a quick time check, Ali. We got 5 minutes. We have so much more to share, so we're going to start going a little bit quick now.
That's the hint of Ali, stop talking.
But I did want to call this out. So if you're familiar with stories, and Ali alluded to this, this is where our pixel is on the site. We're tracking user behavior and collecting known user profiles by cookieing them. When clients ask us, what can we do immediately to drive revenue, we'll always say the abandoned cart banner. And Ali, I don't know if you want to speak a little bit about this. This was like the first of its kind.
Yeah, so we really want to tap into, we have all the triggers, the normal triggers, cart abandonment, emails, all of that, but we want to tap into our normal ad hoc sentence that have all of our promotions and different messaging that we want to get to the customer on an ad hoc basis. So we created a module that has that directly in our emails, and it's dynamic for customers who have been in a product on site in the last 7 days. So now we're just hitting omni-channel, we're hitting in multiple places, and we have it in the emails that they're opening on a daily basis in addition to the triggers.
Awesome. Cool. And so I think what we'll just quickly call out here, and then maybe, Allie, we can start talking about the data model really quickly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that, so when Belk and Movable Inc. started together, much of the personalization we were doing was based on our pixel on the site. These banners are merchant-powered banners, and they're based off of a recipient's last category browsed. The nav bar was also being last category browsed, but the data team at Belk has tons of historical data on file, and they've made so many mappings, and they needed a way to really use that data for good and test it against stories, essentially. So we can talk a little bit about now phase 2, Allie.
Yeah, absolutely. So as I mentioned earlier, we have the navigation that's now dynamic, and we picked 7 of our primary departments, so accessories, kids, jewelry, beauty, home, women, men's, shoes, intimates, and clearance. And we curate that based on the score that our data science team has been able to come up with holistically through all of the historical data that they have to score each of those different departments. And we show you the nav based on your highest score, and the whole navigation is personalized. And we also have different modules within the email that are curated based on those as well. So in the middle, we have different offers for the different departments. There's a women's, there's a beauty, and there's a home. And then on the right side, we also have a coupon that goes in our emails every single day. And that percent changes each week. But now instead of just saying shop select brands, we're able to curate that experience even further with one-to-one messaging to take the department that you were most likely to shop and have a specific coupon show with an image and the copy alluding to that department to just drive that experience and have that customer click through and engage and drive revenue and all the things we as retailers are looking for.
Yes. Awesome. So I think you just spoke to this nav bar, so just bigger images for everyone to see the visuals a little bit better. Awesome. So Allie, what's next? What's coming up for you?
Yeah, so we're super excited. We're going to start tapping into some of the product recommendations and really looking to take the affinity model of those departments and bring it to the next level of bringing in products from those specific categories.
So product grids here now.
Yes.
We talked a lot about banners today. Now we're going to actually tie it into direct purchases. Teaser alert, we just launched some transactional recommendations based on some custom mapping with Movable Inc.
Yes, so we're very
really
excited to see how those perform.
Awesome. And I know you have some really good advice to give everyone in the room as we take it away here. So Allie, go ahead.
Absolutely. So just start somewhere. Discover the quick wins and scale from there. As long as you get something out the door, you'll learn something, you'll experience something. Don't be afraid. Honestly, it's probably not going to be perfect the first time, but your customers don't know. You're going to get those wins and get those learnings. Fail fast. That's really how you identify what is the winning solution and strategies. Kind of like Edison and a light bulb. He found many ways how to not make a light bulb. Well, as marketers, we kind of have to do the same thing and figure it out as we go and get something to market, see how it performs, see how customers react to it, and you'll learn and scale from there. Every customer is different. Every brand's different. There's not one size fits all for everyone. You have to kind of learn on your own and figure that out. And then make data your friend. It's not scary, and it really is the heartbeat of everything. Without data, you can't power personalization.
Beautifully spoken. Thank you guys so much. And Allie, I'm hoping we'll see you on main stage next year.